is the property of the church. This is Downey Memorial Christian Church.
When we said we don't want this in our property, this gentleman just shouted the whole country is our property.
I work with the U.S. military back in my home country. Okay. I have all the documents.
We will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead.
How about that? Honor your oath. Oh, there you go.
I didn't do nothing. I didn't say nothing.
He's supposed to get lost. He goes to jail. Let's go.
All right, buckle up, folks. We have a ton more damning new on-the-ground footage of ICE raids blowing up in Trump's face as all around the country, troops, agents, police are just doing and saying some absolutely heinous things. All of that coming up, painting a clear and disturbing picture of Trump escalating his war on the American streets. And at the same time, Donald Trump is infuriating his MAGA base by escalating a global war conflict. You likely heard about the Israeli strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities, and Donald Trump has responded to that. And his response from the no-war president even has some of his MAGA cultists, his most fervent cultists at that, clapping back at him. So I want to start here with the global stuff, and then we'll take a look at what is going on in these American streets. And if you appreciate the coverage here that the mainstream media is showing less and less of because it shows law enforcement in incriminating circumstances, then please support our work by dropping a like and following. But to start here with the global stuff, Iran has already said that they are going to retaliate. And the Trump administration, Marco Rubio, they all said that they had no idea that these strikes were coming. But Donald Trump posted on Truth Social, and this made so many maggots mad, saying, "I gave Iran chance after chance to make a deal. I told them in the strongest of words to just do it, but no matter how hard they tried, no matter how close they got, they just couldn't get it done. I told them it would be much worse than anything they know, anticipated, or were told, that the United States makes the best and most lethal military equipment anywhere in the world by far, and that Israel has a lot of it, with much more to come." And even Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene basically revolted and called out Trump for this.
Of course we stand with Israel and all of our allies. However, we've been told for as long as I can remember, 20, maybe 30 years now, that Iran is on the verge of having a nuclear weapon any day. And we constantly hear that scary threat to us, but we've heard it too many times. And Americans are just fatigued and they're sick of it. And we really want to focus on the self-inflicted problems that we've created and fix them right here at home.
Yeah, and she went into even harsher terms on Twitter, saying, "I don't know anyone that even thinks about Iran. Everyone I know is disgusted with Democrats for supporting a literal war against America by foreign nationals and communist anarchists waving Mexican flags while they violently riot, burn, and attacks police in American cities." So that is the context for the MAGA revolt on the global issue of war. But Marjorie's words are incredibly ironic when you compare and contrast them with the on-the-ground footage. First here, we have ICE arresting a man who served with the U.S. military in Afghanistan as a translator.
What's your name? What's your name?
You don't have his name. You're not entitled to his name.
I work with the U.S. military back in my home country. Okay. I have all the documents. I didn't have a credible fear interview. I work with the U.S. military. I was interpreter. I work with the U.S. military.
Do you have a warrant for his arrest?
Yes, we do. Provide the warrant. Provide the warrant.
I work with the U.S. military. Just tell to the...
You can come with us, sir. Provide the warrant. You can come with us. You don't have a warrant.
I work U.S. military back in my home country, Afghanistan. See, this is my situation.
Can I see his warrant?
Yes, I'll show it to you in the elevator.
Or you can show it now and make sure it's the right person. Because I've seen you cuff the wrong people.
Could you back up, please?
Pretty embarrassing.
But some of the actions of these agents and the police are so much worse. I have 3 more clips for you coming up. Here's the first one we saw. Then we'll talk about the sheriff, and we'll end on them raiding a literal church. Take a look at this one from Las Vegas.
You enjoying yourself?
You know, covering everything.
Nothing better to do?
Honor your oath. How about honor your oath, bitch? How about that? Honor your oath. Oh, there you go.
I didn't do nothing. I didn't say nothing.
He's supposed to get lost. He's got to go to jail. He goes to jail. Let's go. Yep. You go to jail, bro. Big mouth.
I'm just watching. I'm watching.
Now, first and foremost, I just need to say, do not talk to the police, especially if you are going to protest, but just look how all of those officers turn around about face and attack these two people and arrest them. But it really comes as no surprise when you see how law enforcement is talking about what they will do to protesters publicly.
So I'm gonna break it down for you, all right? And if somebody wants to know what I mean by turn violent, all right, this is what I mean. If you resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and then jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead.
Now look, I would never condone attacking a police officer or doing any of the things that he said, but as we've already seen, people are getting treated like this for not doing those things. And you are law enforcement officials. Yes, you have a right to retain order, but these fear tactics are incredibly fascist. Case in point here are these ICE assholes who raided a church. Take a look at this.
From what I saw, he had been sitting already in our parking lot. We started confronting them, asking them to identify themselves. They refused to. They kept asking us to step back and telling us that we couldn't be there. This will stand in my mind where we said we don't want this in our property. This gentleman just shouted the whole country is our property.
Who knows if this man was a citizen? They were not letting him answer any question, provide any identification. They surrounded him and started to just get ready to grab him. I have the right to be here. I do not have to listen to you. This is the property of the church. This is Downey Memorial Christian Church, and we are not okay with you being on our property.
Yeah, and we're told this happened this afternoon between 12:30 and 12:40 in the parking lot, as you heard, Downey Memorial Christian Church. Watch this video where senior pastor Tanya Lopez says the armed agents were dressed in plain clothes. She asked for their names and badge numbers to make sure that they were legitimate. She says they wouldn't provide that information and told her to stand back. But it's not entirely clear if these were federal agents, because the church administrators say that the vests on these members of law enforcement only said police.
Oh, you're from Texas! You came all the way out here from Texas, huh? You should be ashamed of yourself! You should be ashamed of yourself!
Now, this is another video from Pastor Lopez, who filmed the unmarked vehicles driving out of the parking lot. Notice they did have out-of-state license plates. The incident comes as protests have continued in downtown LA and across the country over ICE raids, where federal agents have detained illegal immigrants with criminal records and others seemingly without criminal records.
The whole country is our property? Unmarked cars, unmarked vests, masks over your face. They don't even know if you're actual ICE agents. You know what? I guess I can actually agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene that there is a war in our streets. But I think where we disagree is who the perpetrators of said war are. Thank you all for watching and caring about this. Help us get these videos out to more people, because the mainstream media is not going to show you this stuff, unfortunately. Drop a like, subscribe, make sure you got that notification bell turned on. And for Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse. I'll see you guys in the next one.